it is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, what's happening? What's happening, everybody? It is Tuesday, February 25th, 2020. I'm a couple minutes late jumping on here this morning, so I apologize for that. But I wanted to talk this morning a little bit about something that impacted me yesterday as I was traveling. You know, I started watching Kobe Bryant's memorial, and it got me really thinking about just a lot of things, man. It got me all sideways in my emotions, man, and got me thinking about a lot of different things. And you know, but the main thing that I continuously thought about after watching his memorial service and all of the people in his life talking about him was, you know, what would my legacy be? And you know, so this morning was, you know, the title that came to my mind is, what will your legacy be? You know, and how do you kind of, you know, how do you evaluate that? And how do you know what you really want? And how do you spend some time getting that stuff straight in your mind so that, you know, when that time comes that, you know, you're intentional about what you leave behind. You're intentional about what people think, and the impact that you can make on the world is exactly what you want it to be. So good morning, Dayton, Lydia, George, Brent, Andrew. What's happening, guys? Thanks for jumping on here. But, you know, I was watching that memorial and a couple of things stood out to me, and I could go on and on. This could be a 2-hour show about just the videos that I watched in that memorial. I was sitting in the airport yesterday, literally with tears rolling down my face. I think the people in the airport were wondering what the heck was wrong with me, but you know, watching Michael Jordan was the first one that I saw. I didn't see his wife's until after I saw that one on recording. But you know, I watched Michael Jordan speak about Kobe and speak about, you know, the impact that he made on him and how their relationship started. And it was, you know, it was kind of a nuisance that Kobe would hammer him with text messages and calls in the middle of the night, and you know, always be trying to make himself the very best player and the very best person that he could possibly be. And he kept using that word. He wanted to be a better person. So not just a basketball player, but a better person. He wanted to know how to do that in every single aspect of his life. But some of the things that Michael Jordan said about Kobe Bryant were, you know, that he was just an incredible father. And he was always looking for a way to be better at that, whether it be his little girl's basketball coach or just being a better father in general. And man, the stories that he told were incredible. It just made me pause and think about, you know, what would people say about me if tomorrow was it for me? And you know, it's a great way to evaluate what you've got going on in life. It's a great lesson for all of us, right? To never take things for granted and to always do the very best that we possibly could. And the other thing that Michael Jordan said about him was that in every aspect of his life, that he always left everything on the floor. He always left everything on the court, as they say. And, you know, that's something that I pride myself on, you know, that every single day I try to do the very best that I can, whether that's, you know, as a husband, as a father, as a, you know, as a partner in business, as a leader for people. You know, this show, I try to give every single thing that I do, everything that I got, everything that's in my heart, everything that I can. And, you know, when I compare myself to those other people, it's a great measuring stick to say, like, how am I really doing? You know, is there more that I can give? Is there more that I can do? Are there some aspects of my life that I'm not satisfied with? It's, you know, and there's something that Ed Milet uses. He calls it blissful dissatisfaction. So it's about that balance between giving yourself credit for what you're doing, but never being satisfied. Always continuing to look for a better version, a better a way to stretch your time more, a way to give back a little bit more, a way to give to other people a little bit more, while still giving yourself credit at the same time. Blissful dissatisfaction. But the things that stood out in Michael Jordan's speech were incredible father, just always gave 150%, unapologetic for trying to make himself better. He was always looking to find an edge to do something better in every aspect of his life. And he always, always, always wanted to be the very best version of himself. And then I listened to his wife's speech, and I think that, it's very telling when you listen to the person that knows him privately, right? Everybody knows Kobe Bryant publicly and as a celebrity and as a basketball player. But, the things that she said was, incredible father, very thoughtful, a romantic. She said that he was the romantic in their relationship. She talked on and on and on about all the different things as a girl dad that Kobe did, having all girls. And, it just, that whole experience yesterday of watching that, literally, it brought me to tears. Every single person that talked, it was like, Michael Jordan talking about feeling like he was his big brother and wanting to do the very best he could, and his wife talking about him and talking about his daughter, his 13-year-old daughter, and just all the things that she remembered about him. The other thing that Michael Jordan talked about was, being the best version of ourselves and really, really giving the world the best that we've got comes down to being present with those people that are in front of us, that are in our lives, that we have around us. And, I think a lot about that in today's world. I think that we all have a challenge with that. We all have, technology that drives us away from being present. It drives us to do more business-wise, longer hours every day. And maybe that peels away from, if tomorrow was our last day, maybe it peels away from what we really feel is important. And I think that, we're always constantly finding that balance in our lives, of wanting to give our families and ourselves the best life that we possibly can, but at the same time, always trying to remember what's really important and being present in those moments. And I think that if you guys haven't watched this memorial service, I would encourage you to go watch as many parts of it as you can, because it will give you incredible perspective on life. And it did for me. And so I thought this morning about, what is it that I want to leave behind? And, I didn't have a lot of time to think about it this morning, but a couple things came clear to my mind. And I would ask you guys to spend some time. I'm going to spend a lot more time getting these thoughts clear and putting them in front of myself every day. I might add it to be something that I write down every day, because I think it's that important to realize, what do you want your legacy to be? And here's a couple of the things that I wrote down. Number one, that I love my wife and my family more than anything in the world, and that they knew that without question. That if tomorrow was my last day, I want every single one of my kids to never forget how much I love them. And my wife the same. I want her to know that for the rest of her life. That I was a good husband that was kind and understanding and would do anything to make my wife happy, and loved her no matter what, through good, through bad, through the tough times, through the good times, that I gave her everything I had as a husband. Number three, that I was a father that first and foremost loved his children with everything he had and did everything in his power to show them that love. And secondly, to show them how to live. One of the things that I struggle with, that I think about a lot, I shouldn't say struggle with, is as we aspire to achieve different levels of success, I think that it's really important that we don't create the path for our children, but rather that we show them how to walk that path themselves. And that is something that, I think about all the time. I sacrifice a lot of time, working away from my kids and, having to travel and stuff like that. And, I do that because I want to give them a better life. But I also, that blissful dissatisfaction thing comes to my mind quite a bit because I think to myself, I know that I am showing them the way. I know that I'm showing them how to live. I know that I'm showing them the path to create a life for themselves, not trying to create a path for them. And, I think that it's really important that we do that we really teach them that, it's never about money. It's never about success. It's about teaching them how to live and being a good example. And really, not just my children, but setting a good example for other people around us is really important to me. But that idea of showing them how to live is a really important part. And it would be something that I would want everybody to see in my children after I was gone. Hopefully I could teach them enough that they would make a tremendous impact on the world, and that would be part of my legacy. And the last thing that I wrote down was that I created businesses that people love to work for and love to work at, that provided great livings for those people and allowed those people that worked for our companies to be able to be happy when they return home to their children, and to be able to provide for those children, to create memories through those channels, those platforms of companies that we were able to create. And it's a special thing to see. It's still strange to me because I'm new as a business owner, but to be able to see our company create things that allow the families that live within our company to go do things and to go travel and to, watch their kids on the beach running around and being happy, and, being able to travel to different places, or people buying new vehicles, or, anything. And those people earn those vehicles themselves. That's not something we give to them, but it is pretty cool to have a platform that allows people to not just make a great living, but also to have balance, that allows them to go home and be happy, and hopefully in some way our businesses make them better people. It makes them better husbands, better fathers, better friends, better brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, whatever it is. But I want to give back to those people. I want to build companies that actually, make people better and make people want to be better. And I think through doing that it does all of those things that I listed that I wanted for myself, loving their spouses and their families, and being good parents and all of that stuff. I think that by creating those businesses with great cultures and great environments, it's the reason that we started our businesses in the first place. All the people that I started them with, and, that was why, because I felt like we could do it better. And I can look you guys in the camera and say that I know we do it better. I know that the people that work for us have a different feeling than they do other places, than they have other places that they've worked. And, I take a lot of pride in that. And I think that we all need to stay focused on these things that are important, these things that create the legacy that we really want to live, because every single day gets us closer or further away to being able to do that. And, I think a lot of that comes from being able to stay calm during the storms, being able to really stay focused on what matters, being able to go and still spend time with your wife and your children when things may be going crazy in business. And, it's important. It's hard to do. Anybody that tells you that it's easy is lying to you. There are things that happen during your path of trying to create success in business that, man, I wouldn't wish on anybody. But it's part of what you look back at when you create success and you say, man, those were the best times, because those were the times that tested us and we made it through. Those were the times where we had a choice to do the wrong thing, but we chose to do the right thing. And those are the things that create pride. And I think that's the same for your family. It's the same for your children. It's the same for every aspect of life. One of the things that I say all the time in our business is, Everybody's got values. Everybody's got integrity. Everybody has intentions of what they want their legacy to be until they stand to lose some money. They stand to lose some time. They stand to have to work harder to make up for something. Those are the times where you are defined in life. Those are the times that really, really matter. It's easy to do the right thing when everything is good. It's easy to be a good husband when your wife is happy. It's easy to be a good father when your kids are behaving themselves. It's easy to be a good leader when things are right in your business. But your legacy will be defined by what you do over the long haul, and that includes those bad times, those tough times. And, standing by people that are having a tough time, doing the right thing regardless of the circumstances, standing up for what you believe even when it causes conflict. These are all the things that matter in every aspect of your life, in your business, in your family, with your children. These are the things that truly define all of us. And watching that memorial yesterday, I'm telling you, if you guys haven't watched that video, man, it's a game changer. It is something that will give you incredible perspective on so many things. And so I would encourage you guys to go watch it today. Don't watch it in public, and don't watch it while you're driving, because you will probably have some tears rolling down your face and not be able to see. But that's it, guys. That's all I got for today. I want to say good morning. What's happening, Kate? Good morning. Thanks for jumping on. Darren, Andrew, Chris, Marvin, my wife's on here. Thank you, babe. I appreciate it. Bob, what's happening? Chad Buck, good morning, man. Chad and I had this conversation at dinner a few weeks ago about some of the stuff that I discussed this morning. George, what's happening? Derek Geist, good morning, my brother. How you doing, man? Judd, Carla, what's happening, guys? Andrew, good morning. Thank you guys for jumping on here. I hope this was helpful. I hope those videos, I would love to play them for you, but they are pretty long, and so I would encourage you. I'll post them in the comments here so that you guys could go watch a few of these. Man, it was moving. It was impactful, and I watched a few of them multiple times just to get it all in my soul, and I hope you guys get something out of it the same. So I appreciate you guys. I've got some good stuff coming this week. Tomorrow I will be traveling again, but I'm going to try to jump on here and just try to get something done at some point tomorrow. So just stay tuned for that. But I got a bunch of good topics that just came to me over the weekend and the last couple of days here. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm wishing you an incredible Tuesday. Man, I'm just so thankful for all you guys that jump on here this morning. We got 20-something people on here this morning. So thank you guys for waking up with me and starting the day. I hope that this gave you some perspective and made you think a little bit about what your legacy will be. So have a great day, everybody. I love you guys. Thank you so much.